Here I'm going to go over a sample argument essay with you. This essay is about not using cell phones in classrooms, and the student used a short introduction and has the thesis statement here at the end of the introduction. Now this thesis statement is not very complex, so the student probably should have worked on that a little bit longer. However, it is an argument thesis statement because it has that word should. Let's look at the first body paragraph. The student used a transition, first of all, and then has a topic sentence. Students lack concentration in class because of cell phones. That is the first reason supporting the thesis statement. And then the student gives several supporting ideas. They prefer to text with their friends. Cell phones are a distraction because they make a lot of noise. And this is disrespectful to the teacher. After each of those supporting ideas, the student gives a couple of details. In the next body paragraph, the student used another transition, another reason, and started the paragraph with the topic sentence. This reason explains that cell phones are not as useful for learning as students might claim. So maybe that's a reason students give for bringing their phones, and this writer is saying that that's not really true. And then the writer gives a couple of supporting ideas. We have students can get a lot of useful information from their phones, but not as much as from their teacher. And then the writer gives some details about that. Another supporting idea is right here. Phones have replaced real learning by letting students look up answers on the internet or use them as calculators. So that's the second support for the phones are not helping students learn. And the third supporting idea is down here. It talks about how students might try to use their phones for learning, but then they get distracted and get on social media. So this body paragraph has several supporting ideas. It probably could use some more details and maybe specific examples. The third body paragraph starts with finally. That's a good transition for your last body paragraph. And it has the topic sentence. Cell phones in classrooms are not just a distraction, but students can be looking at inappropriate information during school time. The first support for this topic sentence is that students feel they should be connected at all times. That's not a very strong support, but the student goes on to explain it with the detail here. They don't realize that certain websites make them a target for illegal activity. Oh, so that's what the student was talking about in the topic sentence. So they're looking at inappropriate websites during class. The reader goes on to explain that there's dangers from students using their phones in school. Another supporting idea in this body paragraph is that students get into trouble because they post inappropriate pictures or language on social media sites. That's a problem that has been happening in schools in the US. And so the writer is saying that students should just stay off of their phones. They shouldn't be doing this kind of thing in school. And then here's another supporting idea with the transition. Furthermore, students could have their phones stolen if they take them to school. So the writer says they should just keep them at home. Okay, so that was 3 body paragraphs that support that thesis. And then we have a short conclusion here at the end. And the student restates the thesis statement and then summarizes some of those main points. The student also ends with a final thought for the reader. So there's an example for you of an argument essay. Remember to have an arguable thesis statement at the end of your introduction and have 3 body paragraphs. Each body paragraph should have a transition and have a topic sentence as the first sentence. Remember to use specific details to develop your body paragraphs.